Hey, it's Don Norris from RealSurf.com here. We're looking at a couple of waves I got pictures of this morning in Northie at about quarter after 9 or thereabouts. I just thought I'd use this to kind of set the scene for the next long-range forecast here. So it was offshore, and you can see there were a few little set waves coming in. It wasn't that crowded. I think there might have been maybe a dozen people out all up. So just shows you to go, even in Sydney, you can get uncrowded and fun stuff. So that's about enough of that. So let's look at the MHL trace, and here we can see what the source of this energy is. And if you look at it closely, around about 9:30 when I was shooting it, the traces are showing about 1.5 meters from the south-southeast at 9 seconds. Now, as I'm making this, at the latest update on the chart there, the period's dropped back to about 8 seconds, and the swell's now dead south. It's averaging around the 2-meter mark, though, so this gives me some hope for tomorrow morning that there might be some waves around. Okay, if you give me a sec here, I'm just going to have a look at the next few days. Okay, let's have a look at the first model, and that's for tomorrow, Friday. Probably by the time you're listening to it, actually. This is what it looked like on Thursday night. And the outlook, if you're studying this thing, you can see there's still some color down in here. That suggests that we'll still have some swell around, and that would be reasonable given what's on the MHL buoy at the moment. The models, if you disentangle the math, apparently it's around about 1.5 meters from the southwest. South swell at about 8 seconds apart on Friday. Bureau's call is southwest wind 10 to 15 knots, building to 15 to 20 knots in the afternoon for Friday. So it looks like there should still be something around, and it's kind of fun to compare to what I said earlier this week for the call for Friday, where I thought that we might have 1 to 2.5 meters at 9 seconds apart. And yeah, and I think that the wind call was southwest 10 to 15 knots. So actually the wind call was pretty close. The swell was maybe a bit optimistic. So let's have a look. Last Monday I thought that Saturday would see maybe 1 to 2 meter 9-second south swell. The models, then we'll just jump to that now. Here is the model for Saturday, and you can see that horrible purple stuff in there, which means it's getting smaller, is creeping up. And if you're going to disentangle the colors and turn them into numbers for us, it looks like south swell on Saturday of 1.5 meters, maybe dropping to a meter during the day, a period of about 8 seconds. And the wind call from the Bureau's southeast winds, then swinging southwest 10 to 20 knots. So let's jump ahead and have a look at Sunday now. And here we can see there should be maybe a little bit of swell left. There's a kind of a little bit of lighter stuff there. We want to see the lighter stuff material coming in, because that could mean swell for us. The maps can't provide very high resolution for us, but what it looks like is that on Sunday there should still be some south swell around about a meter, 7 seconds apart. That's pretty small, and I wouldn't be thinking there'd be very much. I reckon Sunday will be very small in Sydney, and only places with south exposure will be doing much of anything. So let's jump to Monday. Yeah, on Monday there's been more development out in the Tasman, but sadly the flow is straight south off our coast, and so we're probably not likely to see, if this is to be believed, a lot of energy getting into Sydney on Monday. Models are kind of going 1.5 meters from the south. The interesting thing is, and it's not shown on this particular graphic, but the interesting thing is that there could be a long period pulse Sunday night and into Monday morning, and it could be that Monday morning you've actually got some 12 to 13 second period south swell for Monday morning. That's definitely into the surfable size at 1.5 meters. So the models reckon light southeast winds with it. Yeah, not brilliant, but it does sound to me like there might be something on Monday. But then on Tuesday here, we're beginning to really fade. And you see it's gone purple all the way up the southern part of the New South Wales coast. That's not a great sign. If the models again come true, then we're looking at about a meter of south to south-southeast swell, if we're lucky, 9 seconds apart, with light northwest winds on Tuesday. And it only gets worse for Wednesday. Look at all that purple. That's flatness. That's go to work flatness. Again, if it comes to pass, one can hope that the models are wrong this time around. What is that on the beach? Under a meter on average, around about 8 seconds, maybe from the south-southeast. Kind of depends. You see some of these arrows pointing in toward the coast. Means that the swell is perhaps a little wind swell might kind of arc around a bit, get some east in it, but that looks to me like that may happen a bit more north of us. Again, it's going to be small as if this is right. And finally, let's jump to Thursday, and you can see that the situation has not improved at all. In fact, it's got even worse. The flat zone goes from Gippsland all the way around to the top of the surfable zone here in southeast Queensland. We're talking less than a meter. We're talking about 6-7 seconds apart. South-southeast wind swell. Boy, the only good thing is there's not going to be much wind. I guess that's not good if you're a kiter. So there you have it. That's my call for how things look according to the models for the next week ahead. I will update this probably in another 2 to 3 days. I'm still trying to work out what the right frequency is for updating these reports. I've kind of been going on when I see divergence from what my forecast call had been. Like when I start seeing the numbers getting pretty variant from what I'd predicted, then I go, oh, it's time to kind of find those numbers up again. Anyway, I'm still working on it. Again, appreciate any feedback you want to send my way using the feedback form on roof.com. And all I can do, I guess, is wish you a great surf week ahead. Hope you get lots of waves. Go well. This is Don Norris from realsurf.com. See ya.